Feskerma Conference. Scotland desperately needs change, but that's even more so the case in rural Scotland. We face depopulation. Just today, the SNP announced a plan on depopulation, something that we've been pushing them for years and years. And what does their plan include? A rehash of old policies, yet another task force, and plenty promises to engage, to explore, to develop, without a single point of action. Decision-making has become centralised. Services have been removed from local communities, and this sets off a chain reaction. Services are cut, and those that would have provided these services are forced to leave. Their families leave, their children leave the school, their partners leave their jobs in local businesses, and their economic power is lost to that local economy. For those who remain, it becomes even more difficult to make a living. And daily I speak to people battling to stay at home in rural Scotland. People that are proud of their community and passionate about contributing to it. What I hear from them is real concerns over the SNP Green government that doesn't listen, that doesn't understand, and that doesn't act. The infrastructure they need is neglected, under-resourced, or just simply missing. We look back and see what happened to people who lived in St Kilda. Sadly, some of those who live in rural Scotland and island communities face exactly the same predicament today. If they stay, can they continue to battle against the odds, or do they simply give up and leave? Their attachment to home is strong, but their need to survive is even stronger. Their leaving is a personal disaster for them, but it also has an impact on all of us. These rural areas are our country's lungs, our food source, and our beautiful holiday destinations. And if people are lost, so will their ability to manage their villages and glens be lost for all of us. To keep people, we need homes, we need jobs, and we need services. And if I can firstly look at homes, because these areas are beautiful, second homes and holiday homes are attractive. Every community needs some of these, but they have to be proportionate to the local community. There are communities in Scotland where well over 50% of the homes are not lived in year-round, where locals can't afford to buy because of inflated house prices, where locals are forced to leave, taking with them their knowledge and their expertise and their economic contribution. This can be tackled by building more affordable homes, boosting crofting grants, but within a generation, these homes disappear into the holiday home market. We need to build, but we also need to keep those homes for local people. No home that is bought or built with taxpayers' money should be lost to that local community. The SNP Green government have promised 110,000 new homes, promising 10% in rural areas. And that's 11,000 rural homes, disproportionately less than a fair share. But what's worse is it includes homes in the commuter belt. There are no prizes for guessing where those homes will be built if it costs £500,000 to build a home on an island. Fuel poverty is at its highest in the rural areas and the island communities, which are off gas grid, and yet this SNP Green government think the best course of action is to force people to install heat pumps into drafty old houses. They should be insulating these homes before changing the heating system. Good insulation would mean that there would be less need for fossil fuels in itself, even without a change of heating system. We need a fabric-first approach. Labour has a plan. We are committed to decarbonise the grid, cut bills, increase energy security, and deliver jobs in a just transition. And that is the change Scotland needs. We need to change from the government who has squandered the opportunities that ScotWind provided, putting in place an arbitrary maximum for bids on ScotWind leases. The UK Crown Estate ran a similar auction in 2022 with annual fees rather than a block sum and without the cap. If Scotland had followed a similar model, ScotWind would have raised £28 billion over the next decade. Conference, we need to encourage communities to generate electricity. Take, for example, Point and Sandwich Development Trust in the Western Isles. They have built wind farms and the community's returns were 34 times the standard community benefit payment. That's £170,000 per megawatt per annum compared to a mere £5,000. In Westray, a community wind project is expected to deliver £6.8 billion to the community over its 25-year lifespan. These projects bring economic growth and jobs. Our traditional industries do that too. Crofting, farming, and fishing underpin many of our communities. They have their role to play in our fight against climate change and to deliver for nature restoration. Yet these industries have been let down. Agriculture funding plundered to fill budget gaps, while the plan to impose HPMAs has led to a breakdown of trust in our coastal communities. Conference, Scottish Labour will win back that trust. These communities are the managers of our land and seas, and we will work with them. We must use their knowledge and expertise to manage and protect our natural environment. These traditional industries feed us, and now more than ever, with a growth in food poverty, we need them. Conference, I intend to bring forward a right to food bill to fight food poverty for once and for all. I can't speak about our islands without speaking about ferries. The issues are a daily occurrence. Our island communities have been badly let down. We need a ferry building programme that plans the rebuilding of the whole fleet continuously. This would be a 25-year plan, cutting the number of designs to make sure that ferries are interchangeable and keeping standby vessels to be deployed to cover breakdowns, maintenance and one-off. That is the change our islands need. This SNP government promised the earth and deliver absolutely nothing. The A9 was to be dualled by next year, yet we only have 11 miles of new dual carriageway to show for it. Conference, we need to empower our communities. We are the party of land reform, a policy that has been neglected for a decade. We are given to believe that the SNP Green Land Reform Bill is just a timid tick box exercise that will change absolutely nothing. The change Scotland needs is transformative land reform and that empowers our communities. We have seen community ownership. We've seen what it does with renewable energy, cleaning up energy supplies, and raising funds to invest locally. We also know that depopulation has been halted and reversed in communities that own their own estates. Scottish Labour will not be timid. We will address patterns of land ownership that fail our communities. That is the change Scotland needs. And Conference, Scottish Labour will deliver it.